Great seeing you back for Devos. Okay, all this week we're talking about open doors of prosperity, closed doors of poverty. Now, in my sermon this week, I was talking about the mindset of a person who's from a poor family. Now, I gave my own testimony. I probably come from one of the poorest families I have ever personally known. I mean that. And I know there's other people, but many of you grew up in very challenging situations. But what some of you have done is you do really well. You have a good job. You live in a nice neighborhood. I mean, you worked hard for what you have, but you're still living at a level in which you have all these mortgages or loans, all this credit out there. And it's just not right. I mean, you're stressing yourself out. I want to encourage you to do the right thing here. Look here, contentment is the secret to satisfaction. In fact, the Bible has a lot to say about contentment and godliness as we looked at this weekend. So if you're, really into the Lord and you're content with the things you have. Now, the Bible says we need clothing, we need food, we need a shelter. We don't need a whole lot more things. A lot of other things we have are just luxuries. Okay, look at Proverbs 21, verse 20. Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling. Now, I want to stop here. So talking about treasure and oil, it's talking about the extra things. It's okay to have the extra things. I'm not criticizing anyone who drives like an $80,000 car or a $100,000 car. But the question is, can you afford that $80,000, $100,000 car? Are you able to write a check out for that because you saved it? Or are you stressing yourself out with these really high monthly payments even though you have a high income? Then he goes on to say, but a foolish man devours it, meaning everything he makes, he just blows all his money, right? Because he's never satisfied. Look at it, 1 Timothy 6, verse 6. Look at godliness with contentment is great gain. Do you see that? Okay, so godly people are content with what they have. Now, there are rich people who have a lot of things, but they're content. They wouldn't put themselves in any kind of debt. Things they have are paid for, or they're paying them off, and or maybe they did that for other people. So there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to be constantly wanting more. That's coveting. We talked about that yesterday. For we brought nothing into this world, and we cannot take anything out of this world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. I like that. Look, the greatest wealth is to live content with a little. You want to be content with just a little bit. When I see people and they're mad because they don't stay at the 5-star hotel, and they're really upset because they had to stay at the 3-star hotel, and they're real upset, you got some problems. I mean that. Okay, so listen, you got to humble yourself. Listen, I'm really thankful for anything I have. My wife and I, we go on a vacation and something gets messed up. She's not upset. I'm not upset. Listen, I don't think, my son Randy used to say, Dad, it doesn't have to be perfect to be good. I like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Look, Hebrews 13:5. Keep your life free from the love of money. You see that? Be content with what you have. For he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Listen, if you have Jesus, you have everything. It's okay to be driven to succeed, but it's not okay when success determines your happiness. Did you hear that? Okay, so you don't have to be successful to be happy. You just need your needs taken care of. As long as we have clothing, we have food. Those are important. It's nice to have air conditioning in your car. It's nice to have a car, right? Okay, listen, let's be content because godly people are content.